Beyond Buyers, How to Attract More Women in STEM. And let me now introduce our esteemed panelists. Monica Ioannidou Polemitis, founder and CEO at Hybrid ConsulTech. Monica, please join us. Polina Georgakopoulou, Senior Associate Director, Dataflow Chapter Lead at MUFG Investor Services. Please, Polina, join us. Christos Papadopoulos, Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, Sports and Youth. Yulia Tarasova, co-founder at KidIT, and moderating the panel, Freda Yannitsas, CEO of Cyprus Mail. Please join us on stage. Let's welcome them all to the stage for what promises to be an enlightening discussion.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the warm introduction. It's a great privilege to be moderating this panel of incredible speakers who are all working very hard towards shaping the STEM landscape, both in Cyprus and abroad, from different sectors and industries. So I anticipate it's going to be a very insightful chat. Great. Let me start with Polina. Polina is the chapter leader of the Dataflow team at MUFG Investor Services. Having read her bio, she is an expert in sharing insights on the barriers that women face in tech roles, as well as one of the trailblazing organizations that has been taking steps for an inclusive environment. So, Polina, as someone who has navigated a highly technical role in a large organization, what barriers do you think women, particularly those returning from a career break or who are switching careers, face when entering or re-entering STEM fields? And how can corporations better support these transitions?
Hello. The most common career break that a woman usually have in her career is the maternity leave.
Yes.
It happens to me, to most of us, and usually it's 2 or 3 times. So if we observe, the career break doesn't really start when a woman delivers and goes to maternity, but it starts a little bit earlier, during the pregnancy. So little by little, as the delivery date get closer, the main responsibilities of the women, the pregnant women, start distributing to others. So challenging tasks are, let's say, not allocated to the woman, the pregnant woman anymore, and there is a shift of responsibilities. During her absence, there is a maternity coverage, either external or internal, and there is where, let's say, things are not anymore under her control somehow. And later on, the woman will come back and she needs to adapt in the, let's say, changes that have been made during her absence. I think that, first of all, the responsibility sits with the line manager and with the company as such, but also with the colleagues of the women that sees on career break. First of all, we need to, let's say, and acknowledge that this is a temporary situation and her responsibilities, her roles, and her ownership, areas under her ownership, still remain with her. And apparently, sooner or later, those has to be transferred back to her. During her break, we should ensure somehow or create policies that the update will be, let's say, even maintained offline by documentation, by copy the women in absent on emails, and even drive the task and the day-to-day work according to her guidelines before she goes to the break. On her return, we should treat the woman like an onboarding, so give her the chance, bring her up to date with what have been changed. They might be structure change, they may be strategy change during that break, so we need to bring her back up to speed, provide trainings on every new technologies, or on, let's say, change of policies or change of strategies. And slowly transfer the areas that was temporarily distributed to the rest of the team under his watch again. So with this way, support the lady to speed up and performance before the break. Definitely, companies need to create policies as such, and let's say have a formulate onboarding period after a career break.
Yes, and it would be great if we also received some testimonials from women who have returned from this maternity leave, just across the board, to see what the experience is like. So it's great that the employer is supportive, but it would be also very insightful to get the feedback of that team member who returns and just record her journey of return under these company policies. And perhaps, I think, even develop a framework that can be shared with other organizations, because it's much needed. Thank you. And I have another question. In your leadership role at MUFG, how do you foster an inclusive environment that encourages women to take on leadership positions in STEM? This is obviously a policy, part of a policy program. And what specific policies or cultural shifts do you think are most effective in breaking down gender barriers within the workplace in general?
So I will talk about my personal methodology that I have built to promote a fair environment in my team. I formulate, the first step is to formulate the evaluation process around the job description and not about the individuals. So everybody will be evaluated against the same skills, technical skills. The second step is to identify or assess for each one of the individuals the environment, the external factors, and see if there is any barriers. For example, if you are a woman that recently came up from pregnancy, I cannot evaluate you for the whole year. I have to evaluate it for 8 months. Similar with each one, no matter if it's men or women. And the third step is to encourage minorities to take advantage of the opportunities to grow. From my observation, minorities will not step up, will not move away from their comfortable zone. So we have to somehow encourage them to do so. I usually provide some kind of ownership within their comfortable zone. By doing that, they realize that, yes, they can do it, they can achieve things, and they can even achieve even more. So little by little, empower them to move out of their comfortable zone and take advantage of any growth opportunity. The MUFG is very helpful on this. They sponsor events like this. We run through internal trainings, so they make the people aware about that. The awareness, I think it's one of the most powerful tools. So as long as you know that you can do it, or as long as you know that someone belongs to a specific minority, and even if you are not part of that minority, you change your behavior and you become more open to minorities and more inclusive yourself. So I do thank my employers for giving myself the opportunity to be part of those trainings, and I will encourage everyone to be part of those trainings and be aware of what is the current situation and be aware of what we can do to bypass that. So I would say that even events like this will anyway bring the change.
Absolutely. It sounds like a very supportive environment. So
it is.
I'm sure it's a very attractive organization for those who are interested in applying. And you sound like a very inspiring professional who I'm sure many would be privileged to work under your leadership.
Thank you very
the big
much.
take is awareness, obviously supporting such events to create and spread more awareness. Because even startups don't always have the know-how of how to go about introducing such policies. So thank you very much. That was deeply inspiring.
Thank you.
Monica. So, hi, Monica. I had the privilege to meet Monica a few months ago. We had a tete-a-tete meeting, and I was very much inspired by her long years of expertise as a professional that has now turned into providing mentorship and consultancy services. So Monica is now a consultant and the founder and CEO of hybrid ConsulTech. And we're going to be discussing, the challenges that a role mentorship plays in supporting the landscape. So, Monica, as an entrepreneur who has successfully founded a company in the tech space, what do you believe are the main challenges preventing women from pursuing careers or launching startups in STEM fields? And how can we create more accessible pathways for them?
Well, thank you for the nice introduction, first of all, and I return the compliments. I was equally inspired. Well, I think that today in 2024, for me, the biggest challenge is that we're still focusing on the challenges, rather than discussing the opportunities of having both genders represented in designing products and delivering services. Because ultimately, when you involve both genders, you get better products and better services. So this should be a #1 priority, changing the narrative towards convincing people that there is a business opportunity in involving both men and women. But in order to spark this passion and curiosity among girls, and boys, I would say, but since we are discussing girls today, I was listening to the commissioner beforehand saying that she's aiming to reach out to school children in order to inspire them to get into STEM fields. In order to get them to do that, we need to show them that the vision they have of STEM is not restricted to just coding and engineering. It's not just about coding. It's not just about software design. It's about solving real-world problems. And most of these problems are relevant to women as well as they are to men. So changing this restricted view, let's say, of what STEM is. And by the way, you said before that I founded a company in the tech field. Indeed, but I am coming from social sciences academic background with, of course, a wealth of knowledge from a very long 20+ years career, but my academic background was not in STEM originally. I had to learn as I went along and, of course, receive assistance from these coders and engineers. So this change in the narrative, understanding better what STEM can do, and not just saying to girls, do you want to be a software developer? This is not just saying anything. Do you want to be an engineer? Probably not, because in our minds, it's something that men do, which of course will change in time, but we are not there yet.
Thank you, Monica. That's really motivational, and the take is change the narrative, something that I hadn't really thought about. As someone with extensive experience in both consulting and entrepreneurship, what role do mentorship and networking play in helping women thrive in STEM fields? How can we build stronger support networks to guide women through the challenges of entering and succeeding thereafter in these industries?
I mean, obviously, mentoring is important. That whenever I get the chance, I like to mentor other people, younger people, either men or women, through these structures that are in place through associations. Now, I think mentoring works if it's a two-way relationship. And by the way, most problems that we are facing today are cross-generational, which means that in order to solve them, we need to have mature people, maybe like me and my age and experience, discussing with younger people with fresh ideas and new perspectives. So this two-way mentorship works well when both parties receive something. It's not enough for me, for a young girl, to look at me like a role model and, you know, put me on a pedestal. That's nice. I have to say that I'm flattered if something like that happens, but I get the most value when the other person understands that I am getting a lot out of the relationship too. And in addition to mentorship, to answer the second part of your question, I think permanent structures are also quite important, which means that we need to move away or add to the traditional networking events that are happening in let's say, conferences that we see. There are plenty in Cyprus, but they're usually male-dominated. But maybe create small working groups. I like what women in tech are doing. It's quite impressive, and I think it's creating waves in the ecosystem. So permanent structures that are quite different in terms of what they look like, in order to be inviting, not just to senior professionals, but to younger people as well, to interact with those people that have experience.
Networking has become extremely essential. And I totally agree that mentorship is a two-way path, and that we learn a lot from the people we are mentoring. It's a two-way, it's reciprocity. Yeah, thank you. It was very insightful and motivating. So, hi, Christos. Christos Papadopoulos is the Chief Education Officer at the Ministry of Education, Sport and Youth. And we'll be discussing how early exposure to STEM can create a pathway for girls in tech education, and obviously you'll be sharing national strategies and so on. So our first question is, education is seen as a critical starting point for increasing female participation in STEM. Can you please outline any current or planned initiatives by the Ministry of Education to integrate STEM into the curriculum in a way that actively encourages young girls to pursue fields? So all eyes on you, Minister
Okay.
in
Yes,
Ministry of Education.
I'm very thank you for inviting us, and the Minister is sending her best wishes, and we are in the same line. Promoting gender equity in STEM is a key priority to education. Any reform, especially as the Ministry of Education, recognize the underrepresentation of women in STEM. Current plans, initiatives in Cyprus aim to integrate STEM into the curriculum in a way that specifically encourages girls to pursue these areas. Some of these initiatives include, we have now a curriculum revision with 120 curriculum subjects that will introduce STEM subjects on a very early age. This will include integrating coding, robotics, and problem-solving activities from primary education to Lyceum. Also, teachers receive guidance to promote inclusive participation, ensuring that girls are equally encouraged to engage in hands-on experiences on STEM progress. Also, we need some role models and mentoring on our mentoring programs, collaborations with universities, industry experts, and female role models in STEM is another initiative. Female scientists, engineers, and technologists are invited to schools to speak about their careers and mentor our students. These role models aim to inspire young girls to see themselves in STEM professionals, helping to break down these stereotypes that may deter them. Also, we have STEM competition and clubs. We established after-school STEM clubs and organizing competitions such as robotics or coding challenges as a part to create more engagement opportunities for both boys and girls. However, these initiatives are structured in a way to ensure balanced participation with a focus on encouraging girls to join and take leadership roles in such activities. And of course, we need the development of teachers. The ministry offers workshops and training for teachers to adopt teaching practices that promote inclusivity in STEM. Educators learn how to create a classroom environment that fosters equal participation and addresses any unconscious gender biases that may influence their teaching methods.
Great, these are very promising initiatives, and we do hope to see them being materialized. So. Is it quite challenging to train your existing STEM educators to develop in accordance with the landscape? Because I know that it's particularly difficult in government schools to break through sort of old habits and practices, and we've seen it, we've all seen it. Is it very challenging for you?
It's true that it's hard to find people to work and teach on STEM projects.
So do you have more male-dominated?
No,
it's equal,
it's equal,
you would say.
Don't forget that teaching is a women job. We are 90% or more, so most of them are...
The narrative has to change across industries, and especially in the government.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And in your experience, beyond curriculum changes,
yes.
What role do extracurricular programs, partnerships with tech companies, and community initiatives play in encouraging girls to pursue STEM? Is the ministry working with any external stakeholders to create a more supportive ecosystem for young women interested in STEM careers?
Yes, beyond the curriculum change we are working on now, we have these extracurricular programs in the afternoons. We have STEM clubs and competitions. We have Girls in STEM initiatives. We have partnerships with tech companies. And we have these workshops with industry-led initiatives and sponsors with tech. Now, for example, the ministry supports the establishment of STEM clubs, coding boot camps, and national and international competitions, as it was mentioned before with the people who are now in Romania. These platforms allow students to explore STEM in informal and creative settings, away from the traditional academic programs in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Girls are actively encouraged to work on these programs in the afternoons. Also, we have specific programs designed to address this gender disparity in STEM, such as Girls Who Code. And
Excuse me, girls
who code.
Girls who code.
Girls who code, yes. Okay. And we have a lot of programs that have had to do with the Erasmus Plus projects that work on robotics, on STEM, and on technology in education.
Right,
Yes.
there's a lot going on, and I'm just wondering, how are all these programs and initiatives communicated to the public so that, you know, we raise awareness? Is it done on a national level, within the school community? Do you go through the media, for example? Because it hasn't come to my attention as a media professional of such programs. So
Mostly do this, we promote this to the parents' associations.
okay.
As public schools, we don't go so often to the media.
Okay, perhaps you should
Yes,
consider
we should
though,
go. We should
because
start.
you would reach
to-
wider
yes,
audiences.
Yes. But usually, schools do advertise their work
Internally.
with,
And do you have a good turnout? Do you have quite a few children attending?
Yes, a lot of pupils are attending now, and we have a whole day school, Nicosia, on STEM education. And we have another 9 schools, primary schools, with STEM in the afternoon.
Good to know.
As well, the whole day schools now are working on STEM education in the afternoon.
Very promising.
This is the something
line.
that started this year.
Yeah.
The
Very
whole
good
day
line.
school.
So our business report is here, Susanna, so we will definitely be reaching out to you for a story and coverage on this issue to inform our readers. And, you know, we can keep our audiences updated on all the developments. Wonderful, thank you. Yulia, welcome. I had the privilege also to meet Yulia over a remote meeting, and I was fascinated about how she's working actively. She's an active strategist on, you know, making STEM more appealing to girls, more attractive to girls. And in fact, one of the questions she asked during our chat was, you know, Freda, have you signed up, when your daughters ask to sign up for some extracurricular activities, do you ever consider, you know, IT coding or, and I thought, no. So, you know, Yulia's here also to, you know, break this mindset, this cultural mindset, and share her insights and experiences. She's the co-founder of KidIT, very creative brand name.
Very clear name, I think.
Very,
Everybody
very
can
clear and
immediately
creative,
understand what it is about.
absolutely.
Yes, IT for kids, right?
Yes. KidIT focuses on teaching coding and product development to young children.
Oh, I would immediately shift it from this because we're actually not about coding. And I think that that is one of the biggest stereotypes that we are having in the minds of the parents when they're trying to choose if their kid is applicable into IT. I have a girl, she's not applicable for IT. Why? Because she's not into mathematics, for example. Like a very limited beliefs that actually we are facing, that the kids are some kind subdivided by parents' stereotypes into the category, okay, this is for girls, ballet dancing, and these are for boys.
Yes.
And what actually we were trying to combine and to move forward is a shift in mindset that actually technology is a tool. It's like a pen. It has no gender. So it depends on your needs and your goals, you're using it. So it's kind of a different approach to technology, that you're using the technology. Yes, you're using coding, you're using different instruments, but for what need? So you need to create something. You need to create something valuable for the world. As Monica was mentioning before, like to solve the real life problems, for example. Yes. And you cannot subdivide at this point the genders, because honestly, what I heard in the beginning when Valentinos, you were mentioning that we need not 50% of increasing of in STEAM or in STEM, like the ladies, or in general, the specialists. Actually, we have a huge, huge perspective because we have now 100% of digital native kids who are already there. And our task is just to direct them correctly, just to break our stereotypes for them to move. because we have a ready-made platform, sorry for this word platform, but a ready-made gathering of the already STEM-prepared minds. And then we are going in the direction of the cooperation with different stakeholders where the kids are bringing up education, state education, companies, and et cetera, et cetera.
Wow, yes, thank you for sharing that perspective. And I think it's very important for everyone to understand this. How do you think early exposure to STEM subjects, particularly through innovative educational platforms, can help challenge gender stereotypes that keep young girls from exploring tech-related fields?
Okay, as I mentioned again, like two things. First of all, because our project, for example, we are working with the youngest minds, starting from 5, when the one who is determining where to direct the kid is actually the parent. So that this is, let's say, a first starting point which we have to face, so to explain kind of, and I think that this type of events will explain to many of the parents that STEM is actually not about coding only. Yes, so that it's just a very small part of it.
Loud and clearly explained.
Yes, like it's just a very small part of it, and that actually STEM is about really like problem solving. It's about global mindset, which means that wherever your kid is, you have to equip him or her with the skills that will be necessary here worldwide. Staying in Cyprus, being in Cyprus, but being the part of the community is Silicon Valley. And that is the privilege of, I think, of modern world, that we don't have any borders yet, or already, for the kid to be presented with what he is doing now, staying in Cyprus, but being presented globally, like to take the kids to the events that are happening outside of Cyprus, to get him out of the box of the environment where he is, and to get the inspirations from the role models, from Cyprus role models, from world role models, etc., etc. So that's why I think that this is, let's say, the first starting point to break the stereotypes that STEM is men's land. Not anymore. Okay, so that it's much more global. Second, to be open-minded to see that actually a lot of things are already done in this industry globally. So for Cyprus, it's a perfect opportunity to actually to merge the best expertise that is already on Cyprus or that hasn't been on Cyprus yet, but that is open. There are a lot of open platforms where, for example, the schools can cooperate in between different countries. Like we were holding the projects when Silicon Valley, Denmark, and Cyprus were creating something meaningful together, staying in Cyprus without any need to move somewhere. So
definitely the take is about broadening horizons for children, international connectivity, opportunities, and facilitating this. I mean, you've won me. I'm looking her up, please. If any of you have children here, please look her up. She's so deeply passionate about, you know, what she advocates. So, so capitalize on this opportunity of the meeting and come look up Yulia. And I have another question. In your experience running KidIT, have you noticed any significant differences in how boys and girls engage with tech education? If so, what strategies have you employed to make STEM more appealing to girls, and how can these be scaled to reach a broader audience?
Look, honestly, there is not huge changes, or huge differences in the perception of tech. Like, again, as I mentioned, if you are giving the technology as the tool, each person is determines by himself or herself the way he prefers to use it. For example, the girls who are, again, you see, I'm even speaking like a stereotypical, like the girls who would prefer to draw. anyway, any person who would prefer to draw and who loves drawing would use technology so as to create some artworks, so as to create and to have the possibility to share globally what he is doing here with painting, but through the tech landscape. So why not? So the kids which are passionate, and everybody knows, like gaming and everything about it. Okay, what is happening here? Like, why you're so into Roblox? Why not to get the tools that will allow you to create the Roblox of yourself? Or why not to create something that you will put on Roblox and you will start earning the real money? Oh, really, it is possible? Yes, yeah, it is the way. So I mean to connect what we already have.
The current interests.
Yes, they are already there. Like you have a lot of educational tools for kids, like Minecraft for education. All the kids, if I ever hear that in Cyprus some school would implement Minecraft for Minecraft education version, it would be really top school now, like in the area, because the kids are already there. And when we're speaking about, okay, the kids are not motivated anymore to study, why? Because they are not in the environment that they
stimulated,
do live, that they do strive for, okay? Yeah. So, and those environments are available. And I mean, I am never against something, as you were mentioning. Again, you see I'm directing a lot up to you, what you were saying, Monica. But there are always an opportunities instead of facing that, oh my God, education system is too old. Not. I'm so happy to hear that really something is moving in the direction of taking those initiatives and being it a part of a school system. Because yes, we'll speak about it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So basically, we need all the skills and expertise and inspiration of all of you to help make a change in the current STEM landscape. And I just have two general brief questions for all of you to answer. The first one, and we'll start with Monica, progress and goals. Looking 5 years ahead, what progress would you like to see for women in STEM in your sector? And what concrete steps can be taken today to make that vision a reality? This question is extended to all four of you.
I think that what I would like to see in 5 years is women also leading in this field as well as participating, because today we have a lot more women participating than we had a decade ago. In order to do that, we need to take the focus away from just the technology development and add to it the empathy, intuition, ability to innovate and collaborate in a very diverse environment. So this is what needs to happen. And in order to do that, because I have 3 kids in public education, I can say that public education needs to, again, adopt new tools. We shouldn't be creating machines in school, because machines are already there and they will always be better than humans in creating code, in creating 3D graphs and so on and so forth. So we need to focus on these additional soft skills that will make products and services better.
Thank you. Polina?
And I would like to see, first of all, equal pay for the same role. It's something that we are missing today. And definitely I would like to see at least a 40% of IT composition for women and men, and at least 30% of women in leadership.
Clap to that.
Well, I would like to see that in 5 years we speak about how women have progressed and all the things that came from women. Not we want women to be in STEM, but what role had played women on those 5 years. But I hope that in 5 years, yes, our initiatives and reforms in the Ministry of Education do work for everybody. everybody, not for girls, not for boys,
Thank you.
for everybody.
Inclusion
Yes.
for all. Thank you.
Yes.
And Yulia?
We're closing. Yes, I would finalize and done. Okay. So for me, honestly, 5 years is too far because the changes now are happening so quickly, especially in tech. Like 2 years ago, we wouldn't have started speaking about AI. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't, let's say, make any predictions by what will be with the kids in 5 years. I would maybe stick to the idea that because now we are still the decision makers, we are still those who are direct the growth of the kids, and you see, I'm mostly
navigate.
Yes, we navigate them mostly, so that we should be fast in our following the kids, because according to recent researches that were done in Stanford, the kids in the nearest, actually 5 years, the kids that will reach the age of 9 will be far ahead of their parents, like in 60%.
Another dimension.
Another dimension. And by the age of 13, in 5 years, the parents will never be able to reach the level of technology education of the kids, of technology of the kids. So actually, we have to be just fast. So
thank you very much. That was so insightful. And just as a closing remark, I just want to quickly share that the Cyprus Mail is a media platform that, as part of its mission, we support the tech landscape and the smart landscape, so STEM and smart landscape. So please reach out to us if you'd like to air any topic of interest that may pertain to your field or professional expertise, and we'll be happy to air it. Thank you very much, and thank you to Women in STEM and to Tech Island for supporting such initiatives.